For more on this year's conference and the future of AI, we're joined now by James Song. He's based in Shenzhen, China. He's a tech investor and chief strategist at Zocus Strategic Marketing. James, I want to dive into some of the topics, but just off the top, it seems like COVID-19 has impacted just about everything, every industry. What's it done in terms of the march into the future with AI? Has it impacted it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely accelerated the adoption of AI. And it's almost as if AI was made, to tackle situations like the pandemic. I mean, we're looking at, from a prevention standpoint, like we mentioned earlier, robots now are being used with AI technology to do everything from, facial recognition to do the temperature checking, and then to cross-reference all of that to see whether or not someone might be a carrier of COVID. Certainly on the software side, just on the data alone, a lot of data, big data is being pumped into AI to do contact tracing to see who might have come into contact with any carriers. And then on the treatment side, we're looking at, the creation of vaccines. And AI certainly, it's teaching the machine to teach itself and to make inferences, so that it's actually a smarter way of doing calculations and to, diagnose more accurately by pulling more data sets than a human person might be able to do. And then, of course, on the supply chain side, we all know, the big issue with PPE, with masks, gowns, gloves, that are being allocated or misallocated, and certainly AI. Using the data points can help find suppliers and help find buyers, help find hospitals that are in need more easily.
It's interesting. It seems like anytime we talk about AI, we don't generally talk about the issues that you were just talking about. Most of the advances we talk about self-driving cars. I mean, that seems like the rather glamorous stuff. But what are some of the latest advances that really impress you?
Well, certainly transportation is a big thing. Elon Musk just gave a speech yesterday, I believe, and he said, AI, by putting AI on a chip, it really made the Tesla cars the way that they are, because otherwise they need to have supercomputers in the trunk of the car. So it's helping to create, making things cheaper, more efficient, and faster as well. Now, on the financial side as well, we all know that there have been trading bots before, where it helps you buy low, sell high. AI is really doing a lot of that too, but what it's actually doing is it's pulling in a lot of live data as it's trading. So it's not just looking at the trends, whether it's going up or down. It's looking at the news. It's pulling in a lot of information, and especially with the combination of AI and blockchain 3.0, it's really helping to create a brand new era for AI.
And talk to us about that era. What can we expect in 2 years, 5 years? How is it going to change our lives, do you think?
AI, started out just being software, right? So it was just software, and basically what you needed to use the software was supercomputers. So what you needed was a lot of computing power in order to utilize AI properly. But now what they've done is they've put a lot of the software directly onto specially made AI chips. So you don't actually need the computers with the big CPUs anymore. And coupled with the fact that we have 5G now, which almost pulls data instantaneously and sends data instantaneously, and computer vision, machine learning, all of these together is going to really make AI so much more efficient. I know for myself, I'm looking for a nanny now, right? So I'm using a service called 58 Home, a very big Chinese company, and it's so hard to just go through their search engine or to have one of their consultants help me find a nanny. But if with AI, it can really replace a lot of these consultants, a lot of these search engines, and actually help me ask the proper questions. What kind of food do I like to eat? What kind of all these kinds of different data points that can help me find what I need more efficiently.